Look at this, Ayo DirtGriggity. And at that time, I was deep into a Sega versus Nintendo console war. Even by the time I was 13, I was still fighting that Sega versus Nintendo console war, and it never changed. By the time I was 15, I was still fighting the Sega versus Nintendo console war. Now look at this, when I was 18, guess what I was doing? Still fighting that console war. Now at 44 years old, I'm still fighting a damn console war. Will it ever end?
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
People always say, just shut up with these console wars and play your games and shut your damn mouth. And I totally agree with that. But it seems like it's just in us. These debates are just in us. It's a part of life. It's a part of life. When you think about it, it's just not video games. I've seen people argue about who is the better basketball player, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. I mentioned earlier in the video, Sega versus Nintendo. Sega versus Nintendo was a real thing in my childhood. I was the only Sega guy in my neighborhood, and I used to get shit all the time because Nintendo had the better games than Sega. Yes, definitely. I remember having debates about DC over Marvel, WWF versus WCW. In the early 2000s, NBA Live versus NBA 2K. That was a real debate. Not so much now because NBA Live is trash, but in the early 2000s, that was a debate. Don't forget about Apple versus Android. Hell, if you're watching TV right now, Democrats versus Republicans, they're going at each other. And that's just not the actual politicians. People are debating. So what I'm trying to say is, even though this is just video games, this is just movies, comic books, anything, it's still a part of us. We want other people to agree with us. We want other people to feel how we feel. And I feel as long as it's not disrespectful, people not talking about your mama, people not talking about your kids, your wife, as long as people keep it strictly on those topics, I feel is okay. The console war, yes, I know it's stupid. DirtGriggity, you're actually promoting the console war. I'm just saying it's a part of life. I just gave you guys several examples of other type of debates that we go through. Apple versus Android was real strong for a while. Hell, to this day, you still get people taking shots at Android or Apple. It's a part of life. Burger King versus McDonald's. Who's the best player of all time, LeBron or Michael Jordan? You hear these debates all of the time. But the real reason I'm talking about these things is because I'm noticing on Twitter how the console wars are heating up. These console wars are heating up because when I discovered this community in 2013, it was an Xbox bash fest. That's what it was. Every channel was bashing XboxChannel, except for a channel like Next Gen 720. He had BGST and things like that. There was a few other Xbox guys, but it was mostly an Xbox bash fest. And throughout these years, Xbox guys, we didn't have a lot of ammo. A lot of us tried to fight. We tried to fight these ponies, but we really couldn't because we didn't have any ammo. But I don't know if you guys have noticed lately, but Xbox guys, we have ammo. So we've been going at the PlayStation guys because look, Xbox has the world's most powerful console. Xbox has 23 studios developing games. Hell, actually 35 teams developing games because most of those studios have multiple teams and they're going back and forth. And it's funny because even though the PlayStation guys don't have the power going into next generation, they don't have as many studios, they still have the best studios at the moment until Xbox can prove otherwise. PlayStation definitely has the best studios at the moment. Xbox has some good studios, but they got to prove that they can be better than Sony studios. And there's more confidence coming from Xbox guys. But I have to give the PlayStation guys credit. They're not backing down. Now, there's always a lot of hypocrisy in this community. That's just how it is. One guy one day said, I hate backwards compatibility. You Xbox are just so happy to have backwards compatibility. Your launch games is nothing but backwards compatibility. And then yesterday, Sony announces their backwards compatibility plan. And PlayStation guys are like, yeah! So, of course, there's a lot of hypocrisy in this community. From early in the generation, 2013, Sony was talking about the power. Xbox guys was talking about the games. Then in 2016, Xbox guys was talking about the power. And then PlayStation guys was talking about the game. It's definitely a lot of hypocrisy from both sides. We all know that. But I'm just noticing that this console war is kicking up, y'all. It is really getting intense. And it's fun to see Xbox guys to be able to fight back, because we know this generation has been a tough one and we had no damn ammunition to go back at these PlayStation guys. But now we do. And that's why next generation is going to be crazy. And like I said, y'all, as long as it doesn't get disrespectful, people start calling people out their names, talking about people's wives, their families, their parents, you know, it's cool. As long as those things don't happen, we can go back and forth about video games all day. As long as we don't get too serious, people start threatening each other. And it's an emotional feeling. We're all human, so we have emotions attached to us. We're all human. But at the end of the day, it's a part of life. You know, people, like I said, people always say, just shut up and play your games. Listen, it's just not video games. We all debate and argue about different shit every day. Yes, we do. Who's the best rapper of all time? Tupac or Notorious Big? Or, you know, we all talk about this shit every day. Let's just really think about that. All right. Well, anyway, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you happen to stumble upon my channel and you think I'm decent enough, why don't you subscribe? And if you subscribe, hit that notification bell to know when my black ass is doing some new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man. Ooh.